G'day folks, welcome back to Mr. President. I'm into the final activation phase of the year. So I'm getting much faster with my actions, my responses, my decision making. So I'm in the final phase here. This is not taking quite as long as the 3.5 hours of my first activation phase. And then we go through the final activations, and that might take a while. So in this final phase, I am facing probably the biggest challenges of my presidency, or the biggest single challenge, and that is this war with a rogue state. Now they are a level 4. I didn't realise, I've left this really late. This is a level 4 rogue state, and if I end the turn with a level 4 rogue state in play, I lose the game. So I've got to get rid of this rogue state in this final activation. There is a war progress coming here. I have got about 5 activations here. 3 of these are going to be domestic. I've been looking at the CRT for the war resolution, and my analysis of this is that I need to get, to get the best chance of winning this war. Look, I'll have very good modifiers here, but I'm going to need 4-to-1 odds, which means I'm going to have to move some more military forces. You can see I've brought a lot into this area, but I'm going to need another Marine Corps into this area. If I can bring these guys from continental US, where they're just being held, into Central South Asia, I'll have enough for 4-to-1 odds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18 gives me 3-to-1. 3 gives me 21 on 6, and another 3 will give me 24. So that'll give me the 4-to-1 I need, barring any other bad things happening. All right, so that's going to be my focus on those actions. Let's dive in and see how I go. First of all, we're going to do the dreaded chit draw. Hey, it's a 3+ cascading event. Oops, that was an accident, that was a misclick. This is not going to be good. There's only one card in here, and it is this event. If there are currently level 2 or 3, increase it by 1. That's not, there is no level 2 or 3 rogue state. There's a level 4, but it's not level 2 or 3. Increase by 1 level. Place 2 or 3. Alright, so I place 3 new level 1 terror groups in a random region. One of the main criticisms I'll direct at this game is sometimes it's unclear if things are happening because of the previous statement. So is this a sort of if this then that, or is it full stop, now do this? Sometimes they're linked, other times they're not, and often it's unclear. In this case, I don't think they are linked. So if this is the rogue state, I increase it, full stop, end of sort of clause. Then, or now, place 2. It's in the 3 deck, so place 3 new level 1 terror groups in random regions. 3 new terror groups in random regions. So we're going to go 1, which is 8, which is, and let's get these terror groups. 8 is going to be Africa, and then 1, which is going to be continental, no, it's going to be Eurozone. And then 10 is going to be the Asia Pacific. Okay. If there are no level 2 either, oh okay, so it is linked. If there are no level 2 or 3 rogue states on the map, either increase a level 1 by 1 or place a new rogue state. Okay, so maybe undo that. Okay. All right, this is my one criticism of the game. Sometimes these are unclear. So if this, then place 2 or 3, okay. If there are no level 2 or 3 rogue states on the map, either increase a level 1 by 1 or place a new, I don't think we have any level 1 either. We've only got the one rogue state and it's level 4. Yep, so that last point there plays a new level 1 rogue state in the region with the most terror groups. The most terror groups. 2 here, 2 in Africa. Alright, so we've got 2 in the Middle East, 2 in Africa. The ones in Africa are strong, 2 in Central America as well. And I'm going to argue that they are the stronger level 3. So I think it would make thematic sense to place a rogue state, a level 1 rogue state, if I can find it. Is it the reverse of this? No, that's Civil War. How about I just clone this? Nope, can't clone that. It's got to be around here somewhere. Where? Do I increase it? No. Do I? No, don't grab it from there. How do I? Am I blind again? Civil War. It's not the result of a civil war, is it? No. Rogue state. It's not an unstable state. No, that turns into a civil war. So where are these rogue state markers? That's a rogue state at war. I can't clone that. Losing track of counters. How do I place a new level 1 rogue state? Chits, here we go. My goodness. Rogue state holding area. My goodness, that took forever. There are also chits off the board. Yes, there. Got to remember that. Pieces and chits. So, we've got a rogue state in Central America. Okay. Where were we? Where were we? Alright, cascading event, that happened. It now goes into the discard. It's hit its 3 mark, now it goes into the discard. It is removed from the game, so we won't see that again. That is what created that dangerous rogue state that I'm dealing with. Yep. Now we have to draw again because there's a plus sign on that. So we draw a crisis chit and it says draw two crisis cards. So the first one is conflict of interest, scandals, plague the White House. Okay, this looks complicated. There's a few things. Okay, it's a cascading event. So when it's drawn, +1 domestic crisis, -2 public approval. We go down 2 steps. Place a tensions counter on my priorities. So start with 6, draw a tension marker. Okay, then this goes to deck 2. Okay, so we just got rid of a cascading event. Now we've got another one coming through. We'll draw another one. Okay, street battles rage in Caracas as political opposition arms and engages. +1 to regional crisis in South America. Okay. Roll a d10 and subtract either my Secretary of State's rating or my Secretary of Defense rating. So, here, where are they? Here they are. Either my Secretary of State diplomat or Secretary of Defense. They're both terrible. So I'll be subtracting 0 to roll a 7. Which is instability. Flip an unstable state in South America to civil war. There are none. If none, place an unstable state in South America. Okay, we have an unstable state in South America. And that's it. Okay, and then that is discarded, removed from the game. All right, now that was those two chits. We continue. We draw again. Crisis chit. Oh, it's another 2 crisis cards. First one is going to be Congress wants to expand trade and tourism ties with Cuba in its party and public disagreements. Roll a d6. No modifiers. That's a 2. My party wants to expand ties with Cuba. And then choose either A or B. Well, my party wants to expand ties with Cuba, so let's try and expand ties with Cuba. Place a trending pro-US council on Central America, -1 to Central American regional crisis. Look, that all looks good. All right, let's do that. Okay, so trending pro-US, -1 regional crisis. Central America, trending US, -1 regional crisis. It's already at 0. And +2 party relations. Well, my party relations are already maxed out. This is because my party agrees with me. The public response, I roll a dice, and the public response is a 3. +1 public approval pushes me up near the top again. That's it. That goes into the discard pile. We draw our second event, and Greece defaults on massive debt to German banks. Greek unemployment of 25% causes mass riots. Place a worsening economy count on the Eurozone. All right, so that means I cancelled that out because it was improving. If the Eurozone state of the economy is 4 or less, or Russia's state of the economy is 5 or higher, well, Russia's is higher, Russia comes to the aid of Greece. That shocked me. Place a Russian influence counter on the Eurozone. My goodness. Wow. Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here. Nope. Where are they? There they are. Okay. Get out of here. Linked economies. Then I make a US state of the economy check. If I fail, I worsen it. All right. That's going to be a pass. My economy is very strong, so nothing happens there. And that can be discarded and removed from the game. Now, any 3 actions. This is important. This is where I have got to. My first action has to be a military action. And I have to, absolutely have to. What am I going to do? I am going to move or deploy my forces. So I'm selecting 1 US air or ground unit. I think this includes Marines, or maybe, okay, so I choose one of the 2. Up to 2 carriers or Marine units. I'm just picking 1 Marine unit. I don't need, look, what I'll do is I'll move the carrier into the Mediterranean, 1, and I'll move the Marines. Oh, hold on, no, because what I can do, oh look, I can move them both over. I can move the carrier to there and Marines. Move carriers to the point, move Marines either into any carrier deployment zone or yeah, so I think they have to go to the carrier deployment zone where they're a bit weaker. They have to go from the deployment zone into the field from there. Yeah. Again, that gives me sufficient strength. I'm focusing all my efforts on this war against this rogue state in the region. So that's 1 action. I still have 2 left. Okay. And that's going to address this issue in Central Southern Asia. There are some other escalating issues though. I've now got a rogue state over here. I have got Chinese influence in this area. Let's bring up, I can do any Any 3 actions. Sorry, I've lost track of my sequence of play, so I just want to get back to where. Yep. Any 3 actions. Yep. Two more to go. I'm thinking diplomatic action to remove this Chinese influence from South America. No, from Central America. A region with an alignment of 7 or 8, or 6 if regional crises are 0. Roll the d6, and roll the d10, sorry, and on a 6 or less, I remove an influence. So I delete that. Now I think I forgot to add 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Russian influence. So they are looking very strong. China has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they've been weakened. All right, I've got 1 action left now, and I'd like to do something similar. I'm very close to reducing these regional crises to 0, and I can begin to act in Africa. But look, I need to reduce the Eurozone and get the Russians out of the Eurozone. So I am going to, look, I want to get some crisis relief to remove this. So regional stability is 6 or higher, so I get a -1 dice roll modifier to a 7, which reduces regional crises to 0 in the Eurozone. With 1 more action, I'd be able to remove that Russian influence, but I don't. So that's it for those 3 actions. Now I do check my core support. So during this segment, I adjust my public approval rating according to my core support. My core support, this is over here on my party relations. You can see this little 4 showing here. What this means is I move my public approval 4 boxes towards core. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I think I played that wrong when I did that last time. Where would I have done that? Here? When I played that wrong, I think I did it wrong. When I played that then, I think I did it wrong. So core support always moves towards 40. Wherever you are, if you're behind, you'll move up 4. If you're ahead, you'll move back 4. It gravitates towards that 40% mark, wherever it is. Okay, that's core support done. We now roll for terror or chaos. Roll the d10. It's a 2, so we have to resolve a terror act procedure. Increase regional crises in a region containing a rogue state counter by 1 box. So there's a rogue state up here, that goes up. And there's a rogue state that I'm dealing with here, that goes up. This is problematic because I really need to keep this low, because as a result of war, damn it, I should have prioritized this. This will go up and it could cause a major crisis. Okay, now in each region where there are at least 2 level 1 terror groups, remove 1 set of them and replace with a level 2. If 2 groups are on the intel track of a region, put the 2 groups on the lower box. Okay, so let's start here. No, no, no. There's no terror groups along there. We have there's a level 3 and a level 1. Here we go. So this group here, they get removed, so we lose track of them, and they increase to a 2. Okay, over here we have a 3 and a 1. We ignore that. Nothing here. A 1 and a 2. We ignore it, and that's all we do. Yep. Then we make a terror axe roll on the terror table. This is a specific table, and we add 1 for every level 3 or 4 terror group on the board. Now let's go. We've got 1, 2, just the 2, which is bad enough. Ugh. to a roll of 10. This is going to be a surprise terror planning or event. I have to make a Homeland Security check. Alright, so I need... Homeland Security is not great. It's 6, 7 or less. I passed that, fortunately. I randomly draw one new terrorism event card from the unused pile. And add it to the reshuffle pile. Don't look at it. I'm not looking. I didn't see it. Add it to the reshuffle pile, which will go up here. I guess it goes face up. Don't look at it. Or put it face down. I don't want to look at that. Put that on top. Put that there. Is that the... Yeah. That's the reshuffle pile. There we go. Now I can't see it. The module can be a bit weird with that. And add it to the reshuffle. So there will be a future terror event. It's being planned. If I would have failed that roll, it would have happened immediately. Then, if there's a rogue state on the board... Oh, it keeps going. Okay. Export terror. Roll a D10. Here we go. It's a 1. We export to the Eurozone. If there's a level 1 or 2 terror group in the Eurozone, there's not. Otherwise, add a level 1 terror group to the Eurozone. Okay. And that's it. We are done with that terror activity. Okay, what's scary is I know there's something being planned, and I promise I didn't look at it, so I don't know what it is. All right, we now come up to here to our last group, which is going to be Group B. Group B on our ally and rogue states. And this is the UK, Japan and North Korea, all of whom have been pretty quiet so far. Okay, so to resolve this, we activate the UK first. We are very close relations. Here they are, up in the Eurozone, very close. So we get 2 joint actions. We are going to attempt to stabilise. Oh, they can only stabilise their own region. Is that right? I mean, I think that maybe I have misinterpreted that as sort of any region, but I get the feeling it may be just their region. This is where I go back to the government manual and I look at joint actions. HI, not there. So what am I looking at here? Ally actions. Allies, page 35. No. Okay, joint actions. Joint actions, HIJ. There isn't an index entry for joint actions. It's sort of... I don't know where I'd find information on joint actions. .35 would seem to be the most logical place for it, but it's not summarised here. There's UN actions, but not joint actions. There doesn't seem to be a section for joint actions. It says attempt to stabilise region. I think it means it refers to their region, and the Eurozone. Yeah, so maybe not. Request humanitarian aid in any region. Here we'll go. We will request humanitarian aid in Central South Asia. I simply roll a d10. I pass. I reduce regional crises in this region by 1 box. I can do that once. Okay. The second thing I'll do is intelligence against this terror group. That's automatic success, so we are identifying where they are. That's the UK joint actions done. Flip over all tension markers on the UK, +1. And now I make a unilateral die roll. Oh, that's terrible. 10, this is going to be bad. +1. +1 for the Russian influence is 12. This is bad. All right, there is a cyber attack versus Russia. If the ally relationship is not very close, ignore the result. If making a cyber attack, roll a d10 to determine targeting in Russia, whether it's infrastructure or the economy. Wow. And I can tell you, I'm not very good at cyber attacks because my cyber security is very low. Okay, so let's find out what I'm targeting. It's a 1, so I'm targeting Russian cyber infrastructure, I guess. Now, choose my target and roll a d10, modify the DRMs at the bottom of this table. Oh wow, oh wow, that's a long table. It's a huge table. Crikey. I am targeting Russia. Russia critical government infrastructure. Okay, here we go. It tells me what I'm targeting. I then, I guess I roll the dice. And then roll, choosing target, apply the result. So the target is determined. So I determine my result first of all, using modifiers, and then I determine how they're going to respond to this. So, DRMs. The difference in if Russia has greater cybersecurity, they do. So if I look over here, their cybersecurity is 2 minus 1. So you get a +1 modifier. -1 because it's a joint attack with an ally. So that's -1, and -1 because I'm a beginner. So it's a net -1 modifier. Okay, so I'm attacking their infrastructure with a -1. That's a result of 5. It's a minor success. I place a worsening economy counter on the Russian state of the economy track. All right, that's good. What's their reaction? All right, so now I roll a d10 with no modifier to see how they react. It's a 2, which should be okay. No reaction, a flawless and covert operation that leaves no fingerprints. Oh, that's a relief. Okay. All right. Now we remove the tension in the UK, replace it with half as many, rounded down, which is none, and we're done. Now we come over to Japan, who are over here, and we again perform joint actions. We are very close, so we get 2 joint actions. We're going to go engage in intelligence to locate that. Automatic success, 1 maximum. What else can we do? Attempt to stabilize the region. The region's already pretty stable. De-escalate a conflict. Request humanitarian aid. I might do this again. Although they're very tense. So maybe I can remove that tension from Japan. So I'll return that, just to ease their tension. All right, now I need to make a unilateral action roll with a -1 modifier. Current Japan, China, it's a 1 rounded down. So yeah, a net -1 modifier to a roll of 10, 9. Joint US sanctions. Place a unilateral, I'll replace 1 unilateral with a multilateral counter. If none, roll again. Well, there are none. You can see there are none here, so I roll again. A 7. Humanitarian aid. Decrease regional crisis track by 1 box in any region. All right, so if I can reduce this by 1 here, I'll now be able to directly remove those influence markers. Yes, I'm keeping my eye on this, but this lets me take actions here. This is just averting a major crisis. All right. That's done. Remove the tension. We're done. Now we activate North Korea. All right, so we find North Korea. They're down here. We flip these. +1, +1. Sum their values 2, roll a d10 and refer to their action chart. So they roll a 6 plus 2 is 8. They're going to make some cyber attacks. They're going to add 1 regional crisis to the Asia Pacific region. Oh, hold on. Sorry, there are more modifiers to come. It's 1, 2. They also add half the value of Korea, which is 1, so that becomes a 9. That's all. So 9 is exactly the same result. Cyber attacks. So they've added regional crisis. Then they roll a d10 with no modifiers. It's a 9. Cash funds for DPRK Ops. Roll again on this table for a second action. Okay, cash funds. Roll again for a second action. They are going to do 2 or less. They're compliant. Remove all sanctions counters on North Korea. That's a good second roll. Oh wait, no, we've got to apply modifiers again. 2, 3, 4, 5 is support terror. Increase a level 3, 2, 1 terror group. Ouch. We now have a level 3 terror group in Asia Pacific. I'll need to start addressing that. Definitely. All right, so we've done our Korean actions. Remove all tension markers, replace with 1. Okay. Then I check unstable states. Roll a d10 for each unstable state in the Eurozone and Eastern Europe. There's 1. So I roll a d10 for them. It's an 8. 8. Stability is on 5, so no modifier. Keep unstable state on the map. No effect. And nothing in the Eurozone. And that's it. That's it for my my group. Now I think I have to do my UN action segment. Okay, this is a good one. This is where I get a lot of actions. So first of all, I get 1 humanitarian aid attempt in the region with the highest regional crisis value. That'd be, I don't think there are any 3, so let's look across the world. We've got a 2 in South America, a 2 in Central South Asia. So it'd be one of those 2. Resolve ties randomly. 1 to 3 will be South America. So we're resolving here. I roll a d10. It's a 1. I reduce regional crisis in this region. Now I attempt 1 infrastructure aid attempt in the world region with the lowest current stability. All right, so we've got 4 in Africa, 4 here, 4 in Central America. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're looking at Africa. So we're making our attempt here. Roll a d10. It's successful. Add 1 to stability in that region. Very cool. Now we're going to make a youth empowerment attempt in the lower stability region that contains a level 2 or 3 terror group. All right, so let's check. Yep, Central America does, and Central South Asia does. So we'll choose randomly 1 to 3 on the left. So we're looking at Central South Asia. Roll a d10. It's a 5. It's successful. Decrease a level 2 or 3 terror group by 1 level. So let's decrease that by 1. Very cool. Very successful. These UN actions are very powerful. I mean, it's hard to do that. Now let's have peace talks and civil war. Choose a civil war in the region with the lowest stability. All right, so let's, no civil war over here, no civil war here. And now we get a stability 5. So we've got a civil war here, civil war in Africa. that's it. We've only got 2 civil wars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down the bottom. All right, looking at Africa, we're looking at this civil war here. Make a broker peace talks roll. Okay. So, got to bring out my brokering peace talks chart for each civil war. I roll a d10 and apply modifiers. So I roll, that's a terrible, terrible roll. It's -1 because it's a UN action. There are no peacekeepers. Regional stability, no modifiers. So it's going to be a 9. Fighting intensifies, increase regional crises by 1 box. Oh, 8. Yeah, sorry, same effect. Increase the regional crises by 1 box. So that was the only one that failed, really. Choose 1 civil war, yep. Okay, so now we go to US initiated UN actions. And basically, I have got a UN goodwill counter here, and I've got some actions. I've got 6 actions left up my sleeve. Action points, I should say, not actions, action points. So I'm going to spend my UN goodwill marker. We'll return it to the cup. And I'm going to... What can I do? Middle East is very good. It's stable. I want to reduce Central South Asia, and I want to reduce Asia Pacific, so I can begin... Oh, they've got no influence, actually. So really, Central South Asia is where I want to reduce. So I'm going to make a humanitarian aid attempt. I need a 1, 2, 8. That's successful. That comes down. Now I'm going to spend one of my own action points. All right, spending an action point to What am I going to do here? They must be 2 different actions. I can't perform the same action twice. So I could reduce terror, youth empowerment. It's tough. I need a 1 to 5. What else? Maybe arms negotiations, because it was the first year of my presidency, and Iran has already increased their nuclear capability. So maybe I look at reducing this. I need to pass a die roll of 1 to 5. I get -1, and world opinion of US is neutral, so no modifiers for there. Oh boy, -1. Let's give it a go. Okay, so this is going to be my second action. I'm going to try and decrease the... I'm worried though, because it could increase Russian influence. I really don't want to decrease Russian influence right now, so maybe I won't do that. Maybe instead I'll just work on a youth empowerment program to try to reduce a terror level. Where? So I've got intel here, which I can address. I don't have intel in Asia Pacific, so I'm going to try and reduce that one. I'm going to succeed. So they're reduced to a level 2 terror group now, and we're done. All right. Now, just checking. Yep. Move the counter 1 forward. So now I get 3 domestic actions. Okay, domestic only actions. And there's probably not a lot I can do here, really. the economy is very strong. There are no domestic crises. Oh, there is a domestic crisis now. So let's do this. Make a cabinet effectiveness check. So I need 6 or less, 7 or less. 7 is a pass. I reduce this by 1. Actually, it's -1, -2, -3. So I pass easily. All right, that's one action done. I have 2 more. Again, they have to be domestic. All right, so let's have a look. No, not needed, not needed, not needed. Relationship with Congress is it could be, no, it's very strong, so not needed at all. Nothing on that first page. Party fundraising, my party level is at its maximum. Did I have a terror target? No, I didn't. It's in the Eurozone. Okay. So no tracking or raiding. Oh, I do have a tensions counter, right? So I'm going to spend 1 to remove it. And that's all I have to do. It's instant. Yep. Got 1 action left. And look, so I think it's either encourage bipartisanship. That's already its max. I'm going to have to dissuade. Oh, you know what I can do? I can pass an action to give myself an action point. At this point, that could come in handy. It could come in handy. All right, they're my 3 domestic actions. Actually 2, and I traded 1 in for an action point. Now I draw a chit. It is one random regional crisis. 1 random regional crisis. Okay, roll a d10 to determine which region has the crisis. Hey, Excelsior. Yeah, I get that. This is really exciting though. There's so much going on. All right, so the region is 5, Middle East. Middle East has a crisis. Move the regional crisis 1 box to the right. I did so well to get down to 0. That's it. That's all we do. All right, folks, this is do or die. This is now war progress, wars and civil wars. And this is where I'm either going to, I could lose the game here. Okay, for each current war, all right, this is a critical one. If this war isn't resolved, I believe I'm going to lose the game because this is a war against a level 4 rogue state. And if there's a level 4 rogue state here at the end of the turn, it's an instant loss. So I absolutely need to win this war. To do so, I need to, basically wage this war. For each current war, WM4. It's a war progress. We do this for civil wars as well, but I want to do this war first because I know this is going to be an instant defeat. Oh, actually, let's quickly do the civil wars before I get to the wars because they won't take long. Civil war in Africa here. There's no ceasefire, so I roll the die. It's a 4, which is decent. There are no peacekeepers there. Regional stability is now decent. It's a 4, which is a ceasefire. So I replace that with a ceasefire marker. Decrease regional crises by 1 box. Nice work. All right. And I've got another civil war in the Middle East. I think that's the only other civil war I've got. So same again, roll a dice. A 2. No peacekeepers. Regional stability is good now. -1 ceasefire. Replace a civil war counter with a ceasefire counter. Decrease regional crisis by 1 box. Place UN regional peacekeepers. This is great. This is going to help. Oops, not that one. That one. I now have peacekeepers in the region. Remove an Iranian influence counter if present. Wow, this is great. That was a really good action. All right, that's civil wars being resolved now. Now I've got to resolve these wars. And again, that was nice. But now, where's this rogue state? Here it is. So, war in progress, skip down to determine strength. So basically I've got 24. So I look at my wars and I have got, yep, it's big, 24 to their 6, which gives me 4 to 1. I brought in all my military forces. Look at this. They're all there. I should have actually got more than that. I've got 26, I think. Let's add it up. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25. Sorry. 25. So yes, 4 to 1. I then determine, yep, add the regional troops counter, blah, blah, blah. Okay, a ratio is 4 to 1. Determine dice roll modifiers. So this is on the, sorry, that's a guerrilla war, that's a combined ground war. So I have a US and an FNI marker in the region. So -1. I'm the attacker, so -1. There's a heavy counter in the region, -1. US Air Force counter in the region, -1. The total is 2 or more, so plus, total of these influence counters is 2 or more, so that's +1, so net -3. Okay, so to give you a sense, you can't see this chart, it's in one of the booklets, not part of Vassal, but I've got a -3 dice roll. I need 8, I need 7 or less, or I lose the game. All right, 7 or less, or I lose the game. That's it. That's an 8. -3 is 5, which only brings a war into my stage. 2 defender losses. Decrease, decrease. There's an asterisk. If one side is not won, make peace. End the war. Both sides are spent. Make peace and end the war. How do I make peace and end the war? I have no idea how that happens. Make peace. Ends the war. Both sides are spent and ready for peace. Ignore L asterisks. Yep. Okay. After I apply the results, pretty sure I've lost the game now. That goes up 1. Place a military footprint counter. Yep. Make peace. How do I make peace? If neither side the war continues, one side wins. It doesn't say. If one side wins, blah blah blah. Oh, okay, so the war, okay. Ignore all asterisks when making the initial war progress. Okay, so the war ends. I don't know I don't know how or why. Well, I know how. I don't know. I know the why because I rolled that, but the war ends. Both sides are spent. Okay. So the war goes away. Look, this, I don't think it's over yet because that defaults back to there. That resets to 0. Because the war is over. And the rogue state still exists. But I've got a trick up my sleeve. It's not going to be a good trick, but it's a trick nonetheless. Okay. I can now spend 2 APs to increase military spending and add 1 +1 to my side's strength. No. If I don't spend, because the war is over. Okay, so the war's over, so I don't think that matters. What to do when the war ends section. What to do when the war ends section. Where is that? What to do when a war ends. Make peace. When the warring side makes peace, the war ends and a conflict track is reset. I may choose to not accept if so, blah, blah, blah. No, I'll accept it. If the conflict state is US is winning, +1 to public approval, so that goes back up 1. If the conflict state is the non-US side is winning, no. That's it. Okay. That's all we do. But this is not so bad because what I think I can do is declare war again and set things up again, and I'll get a huge military force here. So we've signed a brief end to the war. That's the end. Oh, there's one other war down here as well. So this war, determined strength. It's already determined. It's ongoing. Yeah, so we've now got 4-1 odds. This is not involving the USA, and this is a guerrilla war. So guerrilla wars, +2 to the die roll. It's in the Middle East where I no longer have a counter. It's not a US war, so none of these modifiers apply. So it's just a net +2 dice roll modifier. Oh god, that's huge. Okay, guerrilla war, 4-1. It goes 1 to the left. Both sides lose 1. Oops, wrong one, sorry. 1 to the left, both sides lose 1. So they decrease. The Yemeni forces are wiped out. So, I believe that's the end of the war. So a US ally has lost. I've won, sorry. The Gaza states. The Gulf states and Saudi Arabia have won. Move the allies' conflict track if it applies to this war, no. Adjust the relative strength, no. Place a +1 action point counter on the ally. All right, so Gulf states get a +1 action point because they won the war. +1 public approval. I didn't have anything to do with it, but okay. If the ally was very close, +1 legacy. If the ally was not very close, improve the relationship by 1 level. All right, so we become very close now because they won the war all by themselves and I did nothing. Okay, I'll take that. That's it. There is all the wars resolved, nearly at the end of this activation phase. Now I can do 4 diplomatic and/or military actions. Now the reason I wasn't so worried is because now that war no longer exists. I can initiate hostilities, go to war, select a nation or a rogue state. You can guess where I'm going to go. Right here, this rogue state. And type of conflict, combined air-ground. Combined air-ground, right? And set up this war. I'm going to do this all over again. Set up this war all over again. So, here we go. I'll leave the war marker there because I didn't remove it. It's this war here. We have got, I should have brought them back. We have got the US. There's the attacker. No, we'll bring it down here. Here we go. Yep, War 2. And we have got enemies are rogue. Where are you? Rogue state. Unfortunately, they go back up to strength as well. So, stalemate box. Yep. Look, before I do this, 4 actions. Can I bring more forces over? Yeah, look, I've got to bring everything over because I absolutely have to win this. They're going to have a strength of 7. I've got 25. If I can bring 3 more over, can I bring the Air Force over? That'll give me 28, right? So before I engage in hostilities, I want to move one US air unit. Blah blah blah. Some units may move between US forces box in any region. So I can bring my air force over to here. All right, that now gives me 28. If they're going to have a defense of 7, that'll give me 4-1 odds. Okay, so I have done that first. 3 actions left. Third action is to declare war on this rogue state. Initiate hostilities, rather. Now, I total the strength. Okay, total the strength, 28 on 4 plus 3 is 7. All right, so this goes back up again. I've got 28. All my global military forces have been here. I brought over here trying to deal with this rogue state. I check for surprise. Check for surprise. I have surprise. That's another -1 dice roll modifier. All right, I have surprise, -1. I have FNI, -1. I'm the attacker, -1. I have a heavy counter, -1. I have US Air Force, -1. And they have their counter, so it's +1. So it's a net -4 dice roll to a 4, which is a 0. It's better than the 8. All right. It means, here we go, good news, folks. It means that on this war 2, this moves 2 to the left, and the defender loses 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. But this means that I win. By moving to this box, the attacking forces win. All right, so what to do when the US wins? Lots of things happen. First of all, let's do it one step at a time. Decreasing their strength by lost numbers, blah, blah, blah. Apply regional impact. So I do have a +1 regional crisis. Okay. I also have another military footprint. There's a lot here now. This is not going to be good. Now the war is over. It's not an overwhelming victory, but it is a victory. So now I go to US wins. I get +2 public approval, +1 relation with Congress, which is already at max, +1 media relations, which is already at max, +1 party relations, which is already at max, +2 legacy points. Place a trending pro-US counter in the region. All right, this is good. It'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. I may move up to 2 US units from the war's region, either to a home forces box or to another region. All right, let's bring the Air Force. We're a rogue state. Another region. So let's bring the Marine Corps over to Central America, and let's bring the Air Force over to Central America as well. Move any conflict track representing the combatants of the war. No, that doesn't happen. What happens to the rogue state? What happens to the rogue state? Rogue state loses if a losing side is a level 3 or 4 rogue state. The war is over. For game created, this says here, for game created rogue state losses. Is this a game created rogue state loss? I don't know. I mean, it's created by the game. Da, da, da. Game created. Oh, game created. Rogue state. Okay. For like, it's because North Korea and Iran are not game created rogue states. Okay. So, if the losing side is a rogue state, the war is over. As the rogue state is dispersed, but the size and sophistication of the state allows it to relocate material and personnel and live on in smaller groups. Remove the rogue state and replace it with 2 new smaller rogue states in the same region. For a level 4, 1 level 2 and 1 level 1. All right, so this goes down and 1 level 1. 1 level 2 and 1 level 1. All right, so still going to wrestle with these guys. You may, if you wish, go to war again in either or both of these in a future action, but for now, the war is over. Remove the war counter. Yeah, we'll delete that. Remove the war counter. -1 to regional crisis. Oh, good. Award half the benefits list. Oh, only half the benefits under US wins. Rounded up. So, should only get 1 legacy point instead of 2. That's it. That's it. Okay, so that's how you defeat a rogue state. It's probably, well, got through by the skin of my teeth, I think. That's the end. That was 2 actions there. All right. It took a long time. 3, 2 to resolve that. I've still got 2 actions left. And I'm thinking it might be good to clear out some of these. Oh, terror groups. Okay, so where are these terror groups? I've got 1 here. I've got some intel here. I've got, where are the other terror groups? 1, a level 2 here, level 2. Okay, this level 3 here that I don't know about is probably the biggest threat. I've only got 2 actions left, and they have to be diplomatic or military. Okay, well look, let's have a look at our diplomatic actions, because now I can remove Chinese or Russian influence, and because the Middle East is at level 6 with no regional crisis, I can go something like 1, hey, and I can do a second one again, or I should while it's at 0. It's tempting. It's very tempting. Or to go to war again here. I've got a huge force in this area. I could attack this level 1 or level 2 and try and clear them out while I can. No, look, I can come to this later. Let's do a diplomatic action. Oh, sorry, I have to roll. It's not automatic. Okay, I've got to roll. Choose a region with a regional alignment of 7 or 8. I've got to roll. It's a success. All right, there we go. Delete. Why did I think it was automatic? I don't know. I think my presidential action makes it automatic. I can only do this once per activation segment, so I can't actually repeat that. So, can I go to war multiple times? Can I initiate hostilities multiple times? Yes. Yes, I can. So let's initiate conflict against this level 1 rogue state. Let's just try and deal with them quickly. Let's try for surprise. We fail. Okay, we fail. We don't achieve surprise. That's not going to do too much. Just means I don't get surprise modifier. So, we've got another war breaking out. Markers War 2. It's going to be, War 2 here. They are going to be, now I've lost some strength here. So I've got 10, 15, 16, 22. All right, so 22 strength versus their 4. versus their 4. Okay, done. So here we have conflict status stalemate, where it starts, ground air, 22 versus 4, and I have at least 4 to 1. It's actually 5 to 1. Let's check for modifiers. No surprise. -1 for FNI, -1 because I'm the attacker, -1 because I have a heavy in the region, -1 for US Air Force, +1 for these influence counters is a net -3, which gives me a result of 2 on the 4 to 1 column, which will move this war 2 to the left and 2 defender losses. That's another attacking forces victory, which means, same again, it's remove the rogue state. If losing side is a level 1, roll a d10. Right, so I roll a d10 with a -2 dice roll modifier for level 1. The war is over, but their structure and online recruiting allow it to continue to function as decentralized terror groups. Remove the rogue state from the map, and then place 1 level 2 terror group in the region. In 2 other, sorry, yeah, in the region. That's it. I received the following benefits instead of those listed. I get +2 public approval, maximum, +1 party relations, maximum 1 legacy point, and a pro-trending US counter. No, not there, sorry. Pro-trending US counter in the region. I should have got that last time. I missed that, so I get that plus another half, pushes it up to there. No, wait. I think it was negative, wasn't it? I did count it. So, pro-trending. I may immediately make 2 intel rolls in any region with a -1 dice roll modifier. Okay. 2 intel rolls in any region. This basically a 1 to 4 is success. I have, it's -1 if there's US intel, -1 is I've got here. So I do have intel here, so this would be a good place to check. So let's try 1 here. That's going to fail. And let's try a different region. Let's try Central America, where I do have a -1. That's going to fail as well. Okay, not to worry. Yeah. The most important thing is I cleared out that rogue state in a very quick war. And that's my 3rd action. So I've got 1 action left. I'm almost tempted to do this again. Okay, I've still got all my military forces here. If I clear out this rogue state, I don't have to worry. Let's do it. Let's initiate hostilities against this level 2 rogue state. Let's bring up the war marker. It starts here. I've still got 22. They have a strength of 5. So it's basically 2 plus 3. Yep, 2 plus 3. Still gives me the 4 to 1. Let's roll for surprise. I achieve surprise, which is a -1, -2 for FNI, -3 because I'm the attacker, -4 because I've got a heavy, -5 because I've got the Air Force, +1 for these, a net -4 modifier, is a result of 4. Ooh, is this going to end the war? Yes, it is. 2 to the left, 1, 2, 2 defender losses, 1, 2. This is an attacking forces win. So I attack, I win again. It's easy when I bring all my military forces from all over the world into the one region. It's now a level 2 rogue state, so I roll a d10. It's a 5. The war is over, but blah, 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 blah again. Remove them from the map. Remove the rogue state from the map. Yep, they're done. Excellent. And then place 1 level 2 group in the region. If the loser was a level 2, okay, so I've got a level 2 terror group. I've got a lot of terror groups in this region. And also place a level 2 terror group in 2 other random regions. Those regions are 1 and 9 is going to be Africa. Okay. I received the following benefits. Public approval, public relations, another legacy point. A trending pro-US, so that now comes down and that goes up in Central Southeast Asia. And I can make 2 intel rolls in any region with the -1 dice roll modifier again. So I'm going to try Central America again. Intel roll is going to be a success. So I'm gathering intel on this group. And then I will gather intel on this group here. So they are on the track. Yeah, I'm going to try and move these guys in the Middle East along 1. So I fail. Get a -1. But yeah, that's not going to succeed. And that's the end of another war. So 3 wars in the final phase of my first year. A lot happened and we're done. Now I go to state of the economy. Impact. All right. Perform 2 economic assistance acts. I can improve an ally relations by 1 level or place a trending US counter in one of the 8 regions. So, look, I'm very close. I could be very close with India as well. Let's improve that by 1. And let's look for a trending US. I could improve Central America. I can improve Eurozone. Where do I want to improve? Where has a lot of counters? Africa. Let's try, oh, you know what? Central America, because I need to get up to 6. So I can get up to 6. Oh no, in fact, here, Southeast Asia, where a lot of trouble is happening. Just bump that up 1 more, we'll get up to 6. If I can reduce these regional crises, it would help. That's my 2 US economic assistance actions. I now get 3 approval ratings, already maxed. I get 2 more action points. I should have spent those, shouldn't I, for more actions? Oh well. And I get 1 +1 relationship with Congress, which is already maxed. All right, that completes the activation phases. I now move up to the final activations. I start by drawing a crisis chit. And it's draw 2 crisis cards. All right, what do we got here? All right, we have terror cells on the move. If there's a currently level 3 or 4 terror group in any rogue state on the map, there is. Place 3 new level 1. Place 1 in the Eurozone. Okay. Eurozone. I'm just going to clone that and move it down. And then roll 2d10 to identify 2 random regions. All right, so we got 9 and 6. 6 is here, we're going to clone that. A lot of terror groups popping up. And 9 is here. This is a bit scary. Going to start to really engage in counter-terrorism activities now. Yep, that's it. Now this goes to the reshuffle box. Okay, that's the first one. Second one is violence in Kashmir escalates. Increase the India-Pakistan conflict by 1 box. Place 2 tension counters on China and India. Escalate. And then, oh geez, tension, and China. China's looking pretty tense. Oh, they got a lot of counters there. Oh boy, that's a lot. Gonna have to work maybe on some summits to reduce the tension in China. All right, what else do we need to do? And I can spend 2 APs to mediate. I will do that because I have a lot of APs available. I'm going to try and mediate for a -2 dice roll modifier. That makes it a 7. Tense ceasefire, no further effect, narrowly. And that is discarded and removed from the game. All right, they're my 2 cards. We come down to here, I have to draw again, and I have to draw another one. All right. That'd be a nice one. Major quake hits. Los Angeles, a natural disaster. Fantastic. +1, oh look at that. +1 domestic crisis. I almost had none at the end of the year. Place 2 tension counters on my cabinet. All right, so I go 1, 22. Oh, look at that. That was clear as well. Decide whether to spend 0, 2, or 4 APs. I will spend 4. Look, sparing no expense for my people. And subtract the number rolled. negative 3. Americans follow my lead with a massive outpouring of donations and volunteerism, plus 2 public approval, and this goes straight to the 3 deck. Hello, yep. Can I just have a look at it? Make sure there's nothing else. Then straight to the 3 deck. Yep. Good, good, good. That's it. Okay. Now, on a roll of d10, on a 1 to 4, I end the turn. Yay, the turn ends. Otherwise, there'd be more bad stuff happening. All right, so now I go to the end of turn cleanup. Oh boy, this is a long list of things to do. Here we go. Place any drawn Russia Acts crisis chits? No. Flip over the 4 ally counters, randomize them. I wonder if there's an end of turn kind of button I can press. No, it'd be really nice. All right, got to do it manually. Okay, so these, return to the cup, return to the cup, return to the cup, return to the cup. You can see they go over here. Move all bills in the past signed bills to the unused bills box. Where they are now eligible to be chosen and introduced as legislation again. They can be chosen again in future turns. Oh, leave landmark bills in their holding box. And return all others to the holding box for unused bills. Okay, landmark bills stay in the holding box. They've been passed, I guess. Yes, that's right. Place a trending anti-US counter on both Russia and China. Trending anti-US. What does that say? Trending anti-US. So we've got relations with China have deteriorated a little bit. Adjust public priorities by moving counters up the list to fill any blank spaces. Oh, okay. So past legislations. I must have missed this. I passed Social Security and healthcare reform. So I passed those. But I don't remember reading about anything to do with public priorities. 22. Okay. I'm going to check D5, effects of past legislation. I really don't remember seeing anything about that. Social Security. Oh, okay. If the bill is passed, all the way down the bottom here, is currently a priority, immediately receive the award. So if it's priority number 1, Social Security, I get 2 legacy points. Okay. 2 legacy points, 3 public approval. If it's an administrative priority, I get 1 legacy point and 4 action points. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been handy earlier. And for priority number 2, I get 1 legacy point and another legacy point and another 2 action points. Okay, good to know. And if it's a campaign promise, which it isn't, because my campaign promise is education reform. All right, so they go, I guess, back, I don't know, do they go back to the cup? I don't know. So now that's done, Now I slide them up. And then I randomly draw priorities from their draw cup to create the new list. Now, I don't know, I guess, because I've already passed healthcare, so that can't be met again. It's a landmark, there's no other healthcare. Right, I can't pass another healthcare bill. So I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to put Social Security back into the cup because it can be passed again. And then I'm going to draw random and random. So privacy legislation and gun legislation. All right. And if there are administrative priorities, same again. I'm going to I can change or reorder my administrative priorities. So I'm going to put lingering. I can change or reorder. All right, so I'm going to put that back to the cup. Set that as number 1. Where is the cup? Chits. I'm going to try and match again, draw a specific counter, education reform. No, it's already a campaign promise. Job creation package. There we go. And privacy legislation. So these are they don't perfectly align, but they roughly do. And I'm going to leave that out. Okay. Yeah, so I've reordered my administrative legislation priorities. Consequences, regional stability impact on security and limitation. It's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. I'm just finishing. This is a bit of a dry stage. I've just finished my year. I'm going through the end of turn cleanup. Where's that? So this is a bit dry. It's just kind of like tidying up stuff. Basically now, for each of the 8 regions, look at the current stability and make the following adjustments. If stability is 7 or 8, I don't think it's that anywhere. I don't have any 7 or 8s, so nothing happens there. If stability is 6, there are a few. Place a new level 1 terror group. There are a maximum of 4 total terror groups in a region. All right, so I'm going to place a new level 1 terror group in the Eurozone. This is getting a bit out of hand. I'll go to the same over here. Oh, stability is 5, so I'll do the 6s first. Oh, I don't have many. 5, 6 over here, another level 1 terror group. Okay, if stability is 5, start at the top, 5 here, place 2 level 1 terror groups, 1, 2. Level 5 here, we add 1, 2. That wall should be gone. I have stability 4 here, stability 5 here. I add 1, 2. Stability is 5 here, but I'm at my maximum. There's a maximum of 4 total terror groups in Africa, so no more are added. Okay, and now if stability is 4, so stability is 4 here, place 2 new level 1s. 2 new level 1s, no effect on rogue states. Level 4, here we go. They're at maximum, so something should be gone. I think. Oh no. There's maximum of 5 at level 4. 2, 3, 4. So they're at maximum. No 4s around here. Are there any stability 3s? No, there are no stability 3s. If I'm asked to add a terror group, increase the region's largest terror group by 1 level. So that increases. And I believe, where was the other group? I believe that should increase. All right, got to address that. If a region containing US allies now has 2 or more unstable state counters in it. There are no US allies in Africa, so that's the only region with 2 unstable states, so nothing happens here. Terrorist recruiting in 2 random regions. So I'll make 2 rolls, 9 and 10. So it's going to be Africa and Asia Pacific. Increase 1 level terror group to level 2. Then make a homeland security check. If you fail, all right, let's check. Make this check. That's a pass. That's it. All right, rogue state impact. All right, I was lucky I got rid of all these rogue states. There's only 1 remaining now. If there's rogue state 4, I lose. That doesn't happen. For each rogue state 2 or 3, stuff happens, but there's none of them. For rogue state 1, increase the regional crisis by 1 box. And that's all. So if I can get rid of this last rogue state, I get a lot of positive benefits at this stage. Now recruiting. Randomly select 1 rogue state. There's only 1. And roll a d10. It's a 2. I have a recruiting success. Increase that by 1 level. And that's it. Remove the -1 AP marker from all game created rogue states. There are none there. Okay. Now, for each war to which the US has committed units, that's none. They're all resolved. For each civil war counter, not ceasefires. Now, where are the civil wars? They're both ceasefires now, so that's good. That's good. There's no civil wars. Got 2, well, there is, but there's 2 ceasefires. Now, consequences of US military footprints. This is this over here. Here we go. Oh no. Oh no. Bad stuff happening. All right. Remove the footprint and place them, flip them and apply the results. So I get +1 to the highest terror level. Ouch. Gonna have to resolve that immediately. That's my priority. No effect. And +1 to regional crises. That's also going to be resolved. And they can return to the cup. Then place them in counters in each region to match the number of units, US military units and war counters. Oh boy, okay. So basically, because I've got 2 military counters here, I have to place 2 footprints here. I have 2 units here, so I place 2 footprints. Do I have any other footprint markers? I don't think so. I have 1, 2, 3 units here, so 1, 2, 3. And nothing over here. Oh, over here, I've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, non-air. Okay, non-air, non-air. Yep. So Marine Corps. Over here I've got 2, I guess. Three? Does a carrier count? I don't know. All right, for each region that has a regional crisis rating of 0. So each region and contains 0 or 1 unstable state counters and no rogue states increase their stability rating by 1. So they have regional crisis rating of 0. They have no unstable counters, no rogue states, so they increase in stability. These guys have 1 regional crisis. They have 2. They've got no regional crisis here. They've got 0 or 1, only one unstable state, and no rogue states. So would you believe the Middle East increases in stability? That's thanks to my work. That's not, none of these are at 0. Okay. For any region that has a regional crisis rating of 1, okay, these guys have 1, and no unstable state. They have an unstable state. All right, these guys down the bottom here, they have 1 and an unstable state. They have a 1 unstable state. They have a 1 and no unstable state. Either remove 2 tension markers from the region or decrease any 2 terror groups by 1. So 2 tension markers. I'm going to reduce the terror groups. Can I reduce a level 1 terror group to 0? Decrease terror groups by 1. If I reduce a terror group by 1, does it go down to 0? Terror groups, 38. I believe so. Yeah, I think when I reduce, because it basically says, where is it? Decrease any 2 terror groups by 1 level, my choice. So I'm going to remove that and remove that. All right. No, was that the wrong area? Sorry, it was over here. Remove that, remove that. Now, for any region that has a regional crisis rating of 1 and 1 unstable counter, so 1 and 1 unstable state, I remove the unstable state counter. So I'm looking for 1 and 1 unstable state, I remove the counter. All right, EU, economic stability. This may impact Eurozone stability. If the value is 6 or higher, increase their stability by 1. Look at that, maximum stability. That's it. If any of the following is true, the US is not currently involved in any wars. There are 2 or fewer civil wars on the board. Yes. I have 3 or more UN Goodwill counters. No, I don't. I almost received a Nobel Peace Prize. I spent my UN Goodwill markers. Maybe I should have saved them up. Now I know. All right, almost got the Nobel Peace Prize. Changing world opinion. Okay, check the current world opinion. All right, it is currently 5. Then survey the 8 regions, determining how many have a regional alignment rating greater than or equal to 6. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 greater than 6. Tell me if the number is regions is greater than the current world opinion, increase world opinion by 1 box. Okay, so 6 is greater than 5, so that goes up 1 box. If at least 3 regions have a 4 or less, decrease it. Oh, I think I've managed to avoid that, right? There are no 4s. Nobody. This is stability. That's stability. Yeah, we avoid that. The effects of trade agreements. Reach a trade agreement counter. I have no trade agreements. I have not been focusing on world economic issues. If you passed legislation that fulfilled my promise, no, I didn't. If you did not pass legislation, okay, -2 public approval, -1 party relations, come on. Keep the counter in the box, you'll evaluate success again next turn. Congressional reaction. If my approval rating is 60% or higher, it is. Increased relationship with Congress, it's already maxed. And place a new congressional friend. As long as my party allows it, I can have 5 friends. I've got 5 friends. Oh, that's a shame. Not to worry. Add New Year deck and reshuffle. Add the New Year deck to whatever cards are left. So I want to add this. Draw. How many cards are in this deck? All of them. Oh, come on. It's going to make me do this manually. There we go. And shuffle. Okay, I'm sure that's shuffled. Count the cards currently in the reshuffle pile and randomly remove half of them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we go 1, remove from the game. 2, remove from the game. 3, remove from the game. And then move the remaining 3 to the new deck. Shuffle all the cards together and place them in the crisis deck space. This is your new crisis deck for the coming year. If this is the end of year 4, it's not. So, perform at the end of each turn my performance evaluation. Total the values of my 5 main tracks. So, public approval, the value at the top, which is a 9. Relations with Congress, 8. Relations with the media, 8. State of the economy, 7. Homeland security, 6. Then subtract 1 from the total for each region with an alignment of 4 or less. None of them have 4 or less. No, that's stability. Nobody has an alignment of 4 or less. 1 rogue state counter, each rogue state counter, so -1, because there's 1 rogue state on the board. All right, what does that equal? 16, 16, 25, 25, 32, 38, 37. Oh my goodness. It's an auto victory. Game over. I've won a massive victory. Americans revere me. Perform at the end of each turn, yeah, as the greatest American president. If this is the end of turn 2 or later, if it's the end of turn 2 or later. At the end of turn 1, treat this as the same as 30 to 34. So I can't be regarded as the greatest American president ever at the end of turn 1. Instead, I get 2 legacy points. 1, 2. 1 presidential prestige. And +3 public approval. Look at that. Would have been an auto victory on the first turn, but you can't win an auto victory on the first turn. All right, beginning your turn by returning to the beginning of each turn sequence. So I grab this, put it up here, return to the beginning of the turn sequence. Okay, and that's it. I will start to wrap up, but I flip I'll flip the flip book back to the start. Let's look at our situation here. Now I need to shift my attention to counter-terrorism activities. I think I've dealt pretty well with the rogue states, but where did I see? I've got a level 4 terror group now in Central Asia. I've got my focus intel here. I've got spec ops and intel advisors here. So they're ready to go. I've still got a big military force here if a rogue state does appear. What I need to do is advance this quickly to targeting. I'll get some actions at the start, right? I think I get 3 actions after Russia acts. Let's hope they don't do anything bad here. It's very close to a major crisis, which is a bit scary. And I've got a rogue state over here, which I'd like to deal with. They're going to be strength 5, so I'd like to get some carriers over into the North Atlantic. All right, to be able to deal with that. Aside from that, everything else is looking okay. I'm able now to start chipping away at Chinese and Russian influence in the Middle East, and I'll continue. Let's double check all this. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 Soviet. I should adjust that. Chinese have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they're both on 7. Both on 7, but I feel like a lot of my recent efforts have been on improving relations. So, I can remove that one from the Eurozone. I can remove these two. I can very nearly remove these from around the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Oh, these counters, so they need to be reset. Delete that. Return everything to the cup. Return them to the cup. Delete that. Return them to the cup. Return them to the cup. I don't know when I should have done this, but oops. And return them to the cup. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. Alright. So that is an unused bill. I can pass it again. I won't be, because Social Security is no longer a priority. I'll do this in a moment. They are available. All right, things are looking good. Again, this is beginner level. I'm very keen to try this on normal level and see how much harder it is. I expect it to be a lot harder. All right, I'm already up to 10 legacy points, and I've got a good prestige level. And I start the year with a good public approval rating, and look, Congress absolutely loves me. The media love me. Could work on Homeland Security and the world opinion. The economy is very strong. Time to start focusing a bit more on international affairs. Yeah. All right, folks, we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, and